Hello, guys. Today I'm starting a podcast on this channel. So, this podcast is on different aspects of career. I'll be talking about different aspects of career from my own career, but I'll also invite other people to talk about their own career. Someone who is looking to do well in your career, you probably will find a few things from this podcast useful, right? So today's topic is the things that have worked well for me in my own career. I have worked for almost 15 years now in the industry. I started my career back in 2008, 2 months after Lehman Brothers went bankrupt, right? Not a good time to start your career. I was just 19-year-old when I started my career journey, and it's been more than 15 years, almost 15 years now. There are things which have gone well for me, there are things which haven't really gone well for me. Today I'll talk only about things which have gone well for me, and probably you will find a few things useful for your own career. The first thing is that I chose a field that is close to me. I was initially in a job that was something I was not interested in or less interested in. I was a software engineer in my first few years, and then I realized that my interest is in mathematics and less in computer programming. So I, decided to quit my job, pursue something related to mathematics, although not exactly mathematics. And then I went into, more data analytics, quantitative finance related jobs thereafter. And I'm really quite happy because my only strength is to do mathematics. I was always good in mathematics in school, and therefore I chose to work in a field that is close to mathematics. And I'm quite happy about the fact that, and as Steve Jobs says, right, you cannot do well in a career where you do not have interest. So make sure to choose a field that is of interest to you. It may not be exactly the same field, but it's always good to choose a field as close as possible to your interest. But make sure that that field is lucrative purely from a compensation point of view. The second point I would like to talk about is having a mentor. This I realized quite late in my career, but I realized nevertheless, you can never do well in your career without having a good mentor, right? The mentor could be someone from your team, it could be your manager, or someone from your family, like your elder brother, elder sister, or your senior in university. Can be anyone, but it's good to have a mentor, someone who is preferably senior to you, senior in terms of years of experience. Now he or she may not be super successful in his or her career. That is not always important. The person must have seen life, right? And therefore it's important to choose someone who has seen life, who has experience of working in the world, in the real world for 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, and so on, right? Somebody who has not worked for long may not be able to guide you well. So having a mentor is very important. I found the mentorship in my managers, but in some of my close colleagues. So having a mentor or listening to someone is very, very important in your career, right? The third important thing that I've realized is just focusing on strength, right? Uh, we all have our self doubt, right? I do have mine. I'm sure you have your own self doubt as well on certain areas. May not be in all areas, but in certain areas, yes. So it's good to always focus on core strength. Whatever you like, just try to be better and better at it. If you're not good at certain things, and you try to be better at those things, right? That's not the best way to sort of improve your chances of being successful in whatever you do, right? Just focus on things that you are good at. For example, if you're a technical person, just try to be the best technical person in your team. If you're someone who is a marketeer, someone who is a project manager, just try to be a good project manager. If you're someone who is a bit of both, you are a good leader or you also have good technical skills, focus on both, right? So focusing on strength is very, very important. Focusing on weaknesses is not always a good thing, especially in the times that we live in where specialization is always rewarded. It's very important to focus on your strength and be the best in that particular niche area. The next thing is very important that I'm going to talk about, which is just not being a very toxic person. In the real world, there is always competition, right? There is always competition between colleagues. That leads to some people becoming a bit toxic, right? I think that's a very bad idea, right? Healthy competition is always good, and you should also appreciate that there will always be competition. Somebody will do better than you, somebody probably will get better things, better money, better bonus, better faster promotion than you, and that might irritate you a bit, annoy you a bit. But having patience is very important, and in no circumstances you should be behaving badly with colleagues. The rule that I follow for myself, that even if somebody is junior to me, I make sure that I treat them properly. Even if they have made a mistake, I never get angry on them. I never scream. I never show my anger side of my personality to them. In professional world, that is a very bad thing. I also expect the same from other colleagues. Sometimes it's not the case, but I think that's a good thing. People do not like toxic colleague, do not want to work with toxic colleagues all the time. So that is something to keep in mind. I think it's also very important to know the industry very well, right? So that's the last point I wanted to cover, right? Whichever industry you're working in, try to read a bit about that industry. That's something I have always done. I have always worked in the financial service industry, so I always read more and more about the financial service industry, right? I always read Financial Times, Wall Street Journal, The Economist, and there are some industry specific journals that I always read. I follow people who are in the industry on LinkedIn, but also on other platforms such as Twitter or YouTube. I get to learn a lot from them. So just know more and more about your own industry for various. I mean, nowadays you have social media, you can follow people and learn a bit. But more than just social media, you can also read a bit using books, right? Books are the best source of knowledge. YouTube videos are not, and tweets and LinkedIn posts are definitely not the best source of knowledge. Read the books. I try my best to read, although I've kind of not getting time to read that much these days. But I've been very curious to know more and more about this particular industry where I work, and that has really helped. These are some of the things I have used in my own career, and things have helped. I will actually make one other video where I will talk about things which really didn't work for me in my career. And if you have your own experience, please do share on the in the comment section. I'll try to be more regular from now on. I'll be making more videos, and I'll be also inviting other people to share their own experience working in the industry. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you. See you next time.